Good morning, this is Houndog Steve wishing you a very pleasant morning, and I thought I would do a bit of a vlog catch up here. It's been snowing for the last 2 or 3 days, and it is a winter wonderland, and it is pretty chilly this morning. I think it's about -16 or something, and we're heading into probably the coolest part of winter, end of January and most of February, and this week we're expecting -32's overnight temperature and -24, 25 as a daytime high. So anyway, I thought we'd do a little bit of a walk around and a walk and talk, and yeah, see you then. So the chickens are out. Well, the door is open, but I'll tell you, they're not keen on this cool weather. And Smokey is a noisy rooster. Look at them. There's eggs in there, you see. But even with the heat lamp on, I don't know if you can see, there's some ice crystals forming on the top of that bucket. So they're going to be pretty chilly later on this week. They are funny. When they start talking to each other. So you can see by the snow on the wood pile, we've had quite a bit of snow in the last 3 or 4 days. But what can you do? It's winter. Wood furnace is working well, thankfully. No problems so far this year. So yeah, this country still is beautiful in the wintertime. Sure is beautiful. Gotta like cold weather, of course. But there you go. Now, one of my morning chores, just about every morning, and this is a cautionary tale to anybody who wants to go solar. Now, this angle here is not particularly steep. It's certainly nowhere, well, it's maybe the steepness of this roof here, but pretty much every morning when it's snowing like this, and even when it's not, you get, you know, as the moisture falls out of the air when it's cold, you still get the ice crystals on the solar panels. So be aware of this. If you're mounting these panels on your roof and you live in a country where you are prone to snow, you better figure out a way that you're going to be able to get up there and clean them off, because as you can imagine, with that snow on there, now that's only about, I don't know, a centimetre or an inch, maybe an inch, just be 2.5 centimetres. You ain't getting any sunlight through that. That's just reflecting everything. Or if it is, it's minimal, maybe 10%. And you can see that this day will be 2 or 3 times I will be out wiping off these solar panels to scoop up whatever energy I can. And of course, the generator will be on the day. We're getting roughly 50% sunshine for every 14 days that go by. 7 are cloudy, and 7 are sunny or partially sunny. I can live with partially sunny, that's okay. But so 7 days out of the 14 that generator is on, topping up the batteries and using fossil fuels, so it kind of defeats the whole purpose, doesn't it? Okay, it's now 8:30, all my morning chores are done, and Jazz is just waiting for me to put those snowshoes on and head on out down the trail. Okay, so we're going to pick up this trail from the first hide. We've walked the first little part, now we're going to head on to the second part. And I'm not sure with this snow if I can keep my hand steady enough so it doesn't jiggle too much. But I got to admit, these snowshoes, I was dubious when I first got them. But you know, they're not too bad at all. Not too bad at all. And you can tell it's cold. Can you hear the snow squeaking under my feet? You don't get that till you start hitting minus 15 or something. And this week, when we get down to minus 32 overnight, you will start to hear the sap pop in the trees. Anyway, we do this every morning. It's about a 4-kilometer hike through the bush. It is an excellent workout with snowshoes on. And if you want to get fit, get yourself a dog. I'll tell you, if I don't take Jazz out for a walk, this long walk in the morning, first thing, she is just unbearable for the rest of the day. We just up and down, up and down, up and down. Oh yeah, it's awful. So, we run the energy off. She has a breakfast when we get back. The raw is working out excellently still. She absolutely loves it. Anyway, it is just a gorgeous way to start your day. Look at that tree. That is hemlock. There's a few hemlock in this bush. They're all situated in this area mostly, and the rest are white pine and maple. That looks like a black cherry. Doesn't do well though. They get to a certain size, and you know this tree is dead actually. So walk and talk. Where are we? Where are we in the world today? Oh my goodness, as I said at Christmas with my New Year's predictions that Russia and Ukraine would be an ongoing grinding situation, and that's what it's turning out to be. Although the rhetoric is being amped up all the time, and tanks are going over, planes are being sent over, although not in any kind of quantity to make any difference. But you have to remember that Russia has been preparing for a war with NATO, since the Second World War, right? So they have so much ammo. It is unbelievable, ammo and hardware. Probably thousands of tanks. You can go down to Canadian Firearms in Toronto there, and you can still buy Russian guns and Russian ammunition from, Second World War. Still good. So they have mobilized 500,000 troops on the borders of Donetsk and Crimea. And, wow, this is heating up quite a lot. I do understand that the Russians are lobbing in something like 60,000 shells a day. Can you imagine 60,000 shells a day? And I'm wondering whether what they're actually trying to do is to bomb themselves a neutral zone outside of the Russian part of Ukraine, or what they consider the Russian part of Ukraine. Anyway, as I said before, you cannot fight a war with Russia on Russia's border. This is a country with 9 time zones. The EU has made it absolutely clear that they see Russia as only the first problem that they have, and after Russia's taken care of, they're going after China. So of course they're driving Russia into China's arms and China into Russia's arms. So they're now talking about a digital yuan, which, wow, we're going to have so many currencies. The South America now, Brazil and Argentina are getting ready to merge with a single currency. So you're going to have these currency blocks, and I suspect that none of the people who are in these blocks will trust each other. And they will have to find some kind of medium to satisfy that. And the medium that I think will satisfy that is Bitcoin, and they goddamn well know it. So here we are at the lower blind. You can't see it now, but there is like a little stream that crosses here, and the deer come down to drink, as do other animals. So I built this blind here so you can look out and maybe catch some wildlife activity. So as you can see, that is going to create a difficult situation worldwide, as all of these competing currencies are trying to do trade with these other countries. And so like I say, I fully believe, now they may get dragged kicking and screaming into this, but they will ultimately accept Bitcoin as the only honest arbiter that they can trust to do trade with. Just in case you're wondering, yes, we are slowly descending down into the valley. This trail drops by about, wow, maybe 200-300 feet in its length. And of course going down is no problem. You get your workout on the way back up, and that's when I get my sweat on. Right now you can probably hear I'm not really puffing at all. This is a leisurely walk through the forest. Now the other unbelievable stuff that's been going on this week is the Pfizer Exec, the guy who is in charge of biomedical research, which is named Joshua Walker. He was caught by Project Veritas, and in an interview, well, he didn't know he was being filmed, it was a secret camera setup, and he basically told the entire world that Pfizer is engaging in gain-of-function research by creating their own viruses, by mutating viruses, and then getting vaccines for them, so they're already prepared. He admits that it's a cash cow for Pfizer, and you can guarantee that there are many other biotech firms engaging in the same kind of practices. Anyway, the shocking part was that James O'Keefe goes back and confronts the guy in a restaurant with his the hidden tape, and the guy gets completely freaks out. It's an unbelievable video, and that, I think, more than anything else, confirmed that what he was saying was true. And I think that Pfizer has got a lot of explaining to do. Remember, the government indemnified. They indemnified this company. And it's now turning out in the records and the data that Pfizer wanted to remain hidden for 75 years, and a judge ordered released. It confirms there was over 1,000 deaths in the first trial. So they knew all along that there was something really wrong with what they were doing, and but they wanted the money. It's all about money, not about care and concern, not about doing your job. The other great revelation was the fact that the FDA is a revolving door, which I think we already knew. But to all of these companies, these biotech companies, these pharmaceutical companies, their senior execs are working for each other at some point in time, and also they are working for the government in the FDA, learning, you know, what the FDA requirements are so they can bend the rules when they go back into the general workforce. I mean, it is so incestuous, it's unbelievable. And as the guy says, it's not good for the American public, but it is good for Pfizer. Well, where's the regulators? Huh? Where's the regulators on this one? And of course, to go along with that, Britain has now dropped all mandated vaccines for people under the age of 50 if you are healthy, because they have discovered a 20% increase in all-cause mortality over the last year, and they have called for an inquiry. And again, I think I said before, these politicians are realizing that they are going to get hung out to dry on this one. They're the ones who are going to have to face the public, and I think that this story is over, or very quickly coming to an end. And I think the loss of public faith in the government and these institutions is going to be so long-lasting, because the damage... just a little thing, you know, this is anecdotal, but when I drive to Peterborough, it takes me it's an 80-minute trip. Okay, the last 2 or 3 trips now, I know it is a quieter time of year, but the last 2 or 3 trips I've clipped 5 minutes off that journey, which I would have thought would be impossible. And it's purely and simply because of the lightness of traffic on the road. And I wonder why that is. Are people staying at home? Are they not feeling well? Or are they just not there anymore? So anyways, the tide is starting to turn, and I think that they are scrambling. And of course, like so many things, you know, the fact that the tide is on the turn and that they may be scrambling doesn't mean to say that they will completely shelve these ideas. They will just sit and wait. However, the consequences of their actions will not be unfelt. I mean, that's what we have to deal with. And I keep going on and on about this, but seriously, that is what we have to deal with, regardless of what else is going on. So it is going to be a very interesting year. And here we are, we're at the low point of the trail. This is the small creek. There's actually a larger creek over this hill coming up, but the trail I used to use to get it turns out to be on someone else's property, and so this is where we do our turnaround here. But this little creek here, or stream, it does flow all winter. It may get covered over with ice, but it does flow all winter. And that is one of the things you have to wonder about. Where do the animals get water? Are they just eating snow to quench their thirst? Anyway, this is where we turn around and go back, and so I won't bore you with a return trip down this trail, but okay, well, thank you for joining me on this walk and talk and a few thoughts about what's going on around the world today. It is quite positive, thankfully, and I think that if we can manage to cooperate and work together, we can see ourselves through this situation. It might not be as luxurious as we might want, but hey, at least we will be making it, and it's an adventure. Life is an adventure. We all have to remember that. And anyway, thank you for coming down the trail with me and see the beauty that I have to put up with every day. It's amazing. I love coming down this trail. The dog loves it. It is refreshing mentally, and we all have to do that once in a while. Get out into nature and just let it all go. Just walk around in the snow or wherever it is you are, and let the trees and the air fill your mind with peace and serenity. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe below. And in the meantime, this is Houndog Steve wishing you a very pleasant morning, and we'll talk very, very shortly. You take care now. See ya. Bye.